This is something that normally I would do with a girlfriend.
Oh, no. Now that was unexpected.
I don't normally derail just on my own. I was supposed to take a right about 72nd Street. I'm like, dude, I haven't explored to the north. What if I just kept going? I went up north as far as I could go, covered most of the island, circled right back, hit Columbia. And then I was like, might as well, while I'm here, go to class, dude. I go, wait for a student to come out. I walk in, cause a commotion. Just some guy with flip-flops that came in with a backpack. Doesn't know what he's doing. Sit down. I don't know if you know about flip-flops, but the name kind of says exactly what my problem is. They flip and they flop. I make a break for it at a certain point, and dude, it's just like... just like me realizing I'm making a lot of noise because I forgot about the flip-flops. I just speed up and just cook out of the room. Slam the doors wide open. Never look back.
Welcome to the Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smart nonsense, baby. We're back at it again. It's Thursday, October 5th. May the 5th be with you. Pop, we're all kinds of fucked up. Every single way you could be messed up. We're 4 hours late. My whole day was different. You were up till 6 a.m. God knows what you were doing. Why don't we start there, Pop? Why don't we start
there? Dude, if you
there?
caught me 5 minutes ago, I would have been off the walls. I don't know what happened, dude. Something about being here. You should have seen me. I was just like this for 10 minutes straight. Something about that will sap the tea right out. Here's what I want to say, dude. I did stay up till 6 a.m. I did sleep 3 hours and then do a full day world tour because I saw the sun was out. But I want to tell you one thing.
Oh, no. Right after the intro, every time. Every time.
No, not what you're expecting.
Oh, no.
I own beachfront property, dude.
Oh, it is what I'm expecting. Because I've just been getting texted pictures from you all morning. I saw the beachfront property. Congratulations.
I bet you did. It's sick.
Congratulations.
So I live right back there, and now there's this brand new park right there, soccer fields, hanging out, beach. God damn.
Was that new? Well, fill the
new.
people in.
Just
people
open. I live in New York. New York? You're like beachfront property in New York? Where are you? Are you on
Coney Island?
Is that Coney Island? Thanks, dude. You on Coney Island? I'm like, no.
Staten Island?
No, I'm downtown. Nope. Different island.
Long Island.
Manhattan Island.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Manhattan. And I love my place. It's on the bike path. Sometimes I'll ride my bike all the way up the bike path. Today was one of those days. But in addition to that, I got a gym. I got a hockey rink. I got easy access to whatever I want. And now I got a beach. I got a beach with a soccer court right across from me. There's no apartment closer to this beachfront property park than me.
Is said beach on the border of the Hudson River?
Yep, right on the Hudson. Beautiful view of the city.
But does the beach touch the water?
Yeah.
The Hudson.
There's a little like kayak ramp, so you can dip your toes in if you want.
Okay, so it's not a zero depth sand into water situation.
You'd have like a foot and a half.
So you're just
like
gonna get
little
hot.
rocks.
You're just gonna get hot on the beach.
If I'm around, yeah. You're gonna get really hot, dude.
Okay, and before we get into anything serious, you've picked up the iPhone Pro Max, I assume?
Yeah, dude. Well, anything serious? I don't have anything serious. I had a lot of tea coming into this pod and it just drained it right out of me.
I had a lot 4 hours ago. Let me be clear.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's why I'm the pot calling the kettle black, but that's fine. So what did I do? Yeah, I picked up an iPhone. Apparently we talked about it in the last pod. If you don't listen to these, listen to that. It's well, why would you listen to that just for the nugget? I'll just tell you the nugget. I picked up an iPhone. Supposedly sold out, but there was one in like 72nd Street or something on the east side of Central Park, this Apple store. So I'm like, oh, I'll go pick that up. I'll go pick it up. It's a sunny day tomorrow, so maybe I'll have lunch in the park or something and then make it down for the pod. Derailed, dude. Derailed on a world tour. I hit the bike path and it's just like 78 degrees. I was supposed to take a right about 72nd Street to go into Central Park and like cross the park and get to the Apple Store because I'm on the west side. I'm like, dude, I haven't explored to the north. What if I just kept going? And this is something that normally I would do with a girlfriend.
Oh no! Now that was unexpected.
Right. This is not. I don't normally derail just on my own, because some would say, objectively speaking, this is just a sad little adventure by yourself.
Well, no. Would some say that? Because
I didn't think about it at
did.
first. Oh, do you? Oh, he's supportive.
Yeah.
No, it was sick.
I love going on lonely adventures.
Yeah. So I did that, dude. I went up north as far as I could go. Covered most of the island, circled right back, hit Columbia because I'm like, oh, Columbia is my way to Central Park. Hung out on the main green there. Shot the shit in the quad with nobody because I was just by myself taking photos. And then I was like, well, I'm here. Might as well, while I'm here, go to class, dude. So I'm like, what's the sickest lecture hall at Columbia? There's this one famous one. I forget the name. I go wait for a student to come out. I walk in. I thought I timed it perfectly where it was like 2 hours. 2 p.m. So I figured like on the hour they'd switch. So like I just kind of like storm into the room expecting like, oh, we're just like getting seated. I didn't realize they don't change on the hour. I think maybe they change half hours. So I just like caused a commotion. Just some guy with flip flops that came in with a backpack, doesn't know what he's doing. Sit down, look at the board. They're talking about like photons flying around, passing through gates.
Nope.
It was an in-depth CS course. But the problem was, dude, I got in there. Sorry, I have no tea for this story. But I got in there and like, if you listen to our adventures in Asia, you know I'm not good at speaking or getting out of tricky situations, especially when it's like a faux pas. It's like I basically I trapped myself in this room. I know how to get out.
Oh.
It like wasn't quite big enough. Where
you're referencing the woman who talked to you for 3 hours.
I forgot that. My bad.
On the airplane.
To connect that dot. Yeah. I was talking to her for 3 hours straight because I couldn't just like end that conversation. Wait. I couldn't get out of the classroom. I was stuck, and I had no idea when it was going to end.
You couldn't stand up and walk out?
The professor was like 8 feet from me, like looking me in the eyes, and I'm like, oh.
Did you go and sit in like the first 2 rows?
Yeah, because I just walked in the classroom, realized I was making a commotion. I'm like, what do I do? And I just panic, and I sat right next to this little Asian girl, and I got trapped. I got B-roll if you want to see that. I'll show you like what the front of the classroom looks like. But one part of the problem too is I'm wearing flip-flops. And I don't know if you know about flip-flops, but the name kind of says exactly what my problem is. They flip and they flop.
Yeah.
So I, at one point, 15 minutes in, I'm like, I got to get out of here. Because I came outside, like I'm on this world tour because of the sun. And now I'm just in this AC classroom with nowhere to go. So I make a break for it at a certain point. And dude, it's just like me realizing I'm making a lot of noise because I forgot about the flip-flops. I just speed up and just cook out of the room, slam the doors wide open, never look back.
So like the iPhone.
Right. So then I went to get an iPhone and I just rode through the park and that worked out. Spent $2,000 to get an iPhone. So
I knew it. Have you put the thing in your hand though? Because that's the only point I wanted from this story. Is how big is the Pro Max?
I don't know. I just got a box. I'm not going to unbox it. It's a gift.
And you didn't try one in the store? Even though I warned you, the Max is maximally big.
No, I didn't. This is what we're going to see. So that's a surprise gift, dude. Maybe I'll end up with an iPhone. Who knows?
Yeah, a huge one. Maybe you'll end up with a huge iPhone.
So that was sick, dude. It was a good day, and I stopped at the beach on the way back. So that's why I own beachfront property.
Right. So now I assume your workday is starting, and it's about 4:30 Eastern.
Well,
which is going to cause
Yeah, and I have hockey at 11:30. So I got a wrench, kind of a midday
It's
hockey
a
for me.
ruckus. Speaking of ruckus,
Oh, is that what you tried to do?
No.
You can't do that self transition.
No, but that's a transition. That was just a good transition on the fly. Speaking of ruckus, you were out gallivanting on your world tour detour, and I've just been cooped up because I made a mistake this morning, Pop.
Mm-hmm.
I made a mistake that I knew I shouldn't. I have known now for almost 2 years that I shouldn't do this. And I don't know what happened yesterday. You somehow convinced me to get back in the game, get back in the Twitter game, to cause more ruckuses. So I wake up, and what do? I call out,
well, what happens, dude? Why is this a big deal? Because every Tuesday and Thursday. No, every Tuesday and Thursday, you don't have much to look forward to in life at this point. One of the few treats that you get every Thursday morning is nice My First Million podcast. Sam Parr, Sean Puri.
Yeah.
But recently, they've been on a kick. And I don't mean to take your microphone, dude. I'll pass that right back.
Stole it. So I'm grabbing the microphone back. They've been on a kick. Hang on.
Oh, did I stop the tea out of you too, dude? That's my bad. This is going to be the low tea pod.
Nope. Bringing it up. They're on a kick. Look, did you say why we love the podcast? Candy, I didn't even hear a word you said. I'm going to be
That's fine. Well, that was the one feedback we did get about the pod is we should listen to each other. But no, I didn't. They have good goo. Just like
they have great chemistry. And
yes,
so the reason I listened to the podcast in the first place is because it was unlike anything I'd ever heard before. I heard a very early episode with this founder, and basically they had a founder come on the podcast. She brought like 15, so memorable, right?
That almost counts as a list of 0.
Dude, it was 3 years ago. She brings a list of like 15 business ideas on the podcast, and then just live on the air, they start chopping them up. And they're like, hey, that one you said, really stupid. Oh, this one, I love that. Let's jam on that. Let's figure out how you'd make your first $100 with that idea. I was like, whoa, like who else has the specific knowledge to be able to do that on the fly as well as these two guys can? Lately, they just been booking all these shitty guest podcasts, and they're not the best in the world at that. They're just like worse versions of Joe Rogan or Tim Ferriss interviews. And I'm like, what am I going to do with that? And so, you tweeted that a couple days ago, and Sam picked it up, and he was like, I agree, and that kind of went viral.
I think this is the important part, is I've been on the ruckus train as of late. I got back on it. We got off for a bit, and then it did a full lap, came right back to the station I hopped on. I was yelling, I'm like, Belky, this train's sick, you should get on. I didn't realize that you were not only getting on the train, you were getting on top of the train, dude. Yeah. You're a banshee. Yeah. You're a little subway surfer on the top.
Didn't have
going off. No, didn't, dude. Sorry, I just flashed back to when I almost got arrested on a train for not having a ticket. Nope, plow on, dude. So basically, I caused this ruckus by like calling them out for this exact same problem the other day, of like, hey, dude, can you fucking stick to what you're good at? The problem is, though, you don't gotta double smack them. I hit him with the one punch, dude. It got like 100,000 views because I think a lot of people agree. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, pardon me for thinking the problem would be fixed 2 days later. Pardon me.
Well, maybe they have a 30 episode queue, dude.
I know. No, they don't. We've worked with them. They absolutely do not. They are one of the funny things kind of guys.
One of the reasons for them firing us, other than like not doing phone calls, was because we couldn't turn a podcast around within the hour. Sam was like, if I shoot a podcast right now, I want to be able to drop it right now, like today. I'm like, no, Sam, it's like when there's a lot of editing, so like most people couldn't do that, but like we get it faster than anyone, and it's overnight, so you get it in the morning. He's like, no, what if I want to shoot it now and upload it now? We're like, well, we can't do that. He's like, all right, I'm gonna bring it in house. Like,
Gardeloo.
that's your rationale? You've never done that.
To make a long story short, because it's really not that interesting, this Twitter, we were joking about it. It's just like, it's a sinkhole. When you get in and you get the notifications and you're causing a ruckus, you just got to be in there.
Right.
And my tweet went out this morning. Sam hops on it. Sean hops on it. People are texting me.
You were pretty bad, dude. You were like, this fucking shithole of a podcast. What the shit and dick Maddie is this, dude? It was just ripping them apart, calling them out too. It was after I tagged them too, so it's a lot of shit talking.
It's a lot of shit talking.
Oh,
but
yeah.
And what?
Well, and you fucking Andreessen yesterday. All right. And what's his name?
See,
Paul
that
Graham.
was funny. That was
meant
funny.
to be
I tweeted. I tweeted. Wait, let me get this right. Product market fit is like sex. If you're asking if you're having it, you're not having it. Hyphen at Paul Graham. Paul Graham, that gorgeous man, comments maybe 6 hours later, 10 hours later. This wasn't a sinkhole. In parentheses, I didn't say this. Period. Look out. You're right. You didn't. It was totally Andreessen. So that was yesterday. But that wasn't a sinkhole. It's the negative stuff that's a sinkhole. And that's my bad.
Right.
That's my bad. I forgot that when you put things on Twitter, people can read them. So I was just mad this morning. So I tweeted it. Derailed my whole morning. Because now I got to talk to Sam and Sean, and everyone texted me. And I got a writ. I don't know if you know. That's our only job, is to writ. Didn't writ all morning.
Your written tweets, dude. That's not what you got to be written. But hey, that's fine, dude. Sometimes we radicalize and we want to burn bridges and just say fuck them. And that comes up every so often because every time we try and it's like we really respect these people, but then when we're actually like texting them one-on-one, they pretty much suck every time. So it's like, it's really weird love-hate relationship.
Well, that's why I don't feel bad. It's just like,
yeah. I don't know if you want to, keep the gravy train rolling, but
I got a gravy for you.
Okay.
You still got more on that?
Well, you were talking a little bit about regress to the dirt mean for animation. I didn't know if you want to talk about that.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
All of this to say that thread was I'm just mad at myself.
But here's the thing.
Because I knew Twitter pulls you in like that, and I took the bait. Ruined my whole day.
It does ruin your whole day because now whenever you go, you have like 20 notifications. You're like, well, I got to read all these. But I do like the idea of us being sweet tartans with our little rainbows just causing a ruckus, because I think there's not enough ruckus on the internet.
Yeah, it's not boring, that's for sure.
I think the problem is, like, we gotta be like, today you shot that off, and then I came and tried to like recalibrate. I'm like, hey, we actually love the pod. Like, this is what I think we could do instead that would make it better for superfans. I think we need that. It's like the good cop, bad cop. But we just went bad cop, bad cop.
Doubly bad.
Doesn't work.
I got a thread for you, and this was just a late night thought.
Like
I was watching something, and just either bite or don't. You could just let it die if you want. Okay. I thought it was interesting that laughing is universal.
Oh. Oh, fuck.
Any language, it looks the same, it sounds the same. You put two Homo sapiens together, and they got one of the only things they got in common is laughing and smiling. What's up with that? And you either bite or you let it go. I'm sensing a lot of letting go. Because it is random.
Dude, I am racking my brain right now for anything to bite onto. But I'm really struggling.
Okay. All right. Didn't bite. I got more threads. Don't worry. Here's a good one. I'm just mad at myself for the sinkhole. Yeah. Isn't it cool that laughing is universal? We tried that. So here's my next one. Mine. Speaking of X, did you see this guy, Rob? Wait. Ron. Rob.
This
Is
already
Rob
sounds like it's gonna suck, dude. Let me get a better thread
I didn't
going.
prepare. I thought you were gonna bite on the universal laughter,
Dude,
and then
dude,
I would have more time to kind of.
if
think,
anyone
but-
knows how to bite on that, let me know.
Rob Laban, dude. Do you know Rob Laban? Laban. Did you see his tweet about me? Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, you get tweets about you.
So, well, he tweets about me the other day. Basically, he links an old vlog I did like 2 years ago, where he had tweeted at me 2 years ago, and the entire vlog was about his tweet for whatever reason. And he was like, like, I knew it. 3 years later, the dude, Henry, he's got 1.3 million subs on YouTube. Glad to say, like, I knew it, or I was early. And that was nice. That was all nice. I'm gassed myself up. What wasn't nice, Pop, was the vlog. Did you watch the vlog?
Oh, no. I didn't even try.
Oh, thank God you didn't try. Don't.
So the binge bank doesn't work, huh?
The binge bank's horrible.
You're gonna let that die.
Dude, I was like finishing and like buffing out a piece of wood. And like that was the entire thing I was doing during the vlog. And I'm talking nonsense. Talking in circles, making no sense. No story arc, nothing. So
Well, this isn't really the epitome of like progress with this podcast here.
oh no, that wasn't my point.
I'm kind of like the vlogs have gotten a lot better. Like you're talking about shitty content. I'm like, hey, this pod's kind of a shitty content.
Yeah, but that's not my point.
Oh, all right. Well, I was biting on something, dude. I'll keep
my
my
bad. My bad. What should we do about it?
Bite.
What should we do about it?
Keep on, dude. I'm just biting, nibbling.
My point was, well, it's weird. It's like when you're going through there's this kind of mentality that like you have to go through the iterations. You have to do a lot of the suck to then get to a point where your stuff's actually good or something clicks or you find the format. What was weird is like watching it back. Okay, two things. If you're not cringing at your stuff, if you're not watching back stuff or looking at your art or previous work you've done and cringing, like you're not growing enough or changing enough, I think that's one thing, I believe. But the second thing is like, those vlogs felt so cool at the time. And they felt so good at the time. But they were cheeks.
Well, I just watched your team video, like this Our Crazy Animators video that you put out with when we went to the Philippines. And like, dude, it's crazy how good of a YouTuber you are. I don't mean to like gas, dude.
Oh, he's fishing
gas
for
you
compliments.
But like, I was like, God damn, this is actually good. Like, if I didn't know you, like, you're like changing camera angles, like all that shitty practice with the crappy vlog, like, it actually pays off.
That's my point. It pays off, but I don't know. It's really shitty in hindsight, which is just weird.
Let me take a chomp, dude. One thing that I've noticed is with hiring right now, we're looking at new animators and hopefully writers, but writers are really hard to hire for. But like animators, we have our current best animator on the team. He does like all of our best characters on the shorts. We're comparing his first video that he made for us, which at the time blew our fucking minds. We're like, oh my God, we're going to crush the entire world. We're comparing that to what we're now getting as the samples that new applicants give us. These samples smoke it. It's not even fucking close. Like just progress itself, like when you go day by day consistent and you're actually trying to improve, is unbelievable.
If you really zoom out and get out of the weeds. Maybe you could ask him because he's your friend, but I once heard Casey Neistat say he like cannot watch any of his old vlogs. And I'd be curious why. I'd be curious if it's the same reason. Well, he's just like those are cheeks.
The one thing is like we could watch old podcasts. Granted, that's not like editing focused because we can't really watch old shorts.
I'd be curious on the whole podcast to watch episodes like 2 or 3 or something.
Because that's different. It's more like just conversation, and it's not like you really get maybe like.
Well,
our
yeah, like part of
stories
what
would be
sucks
worse.
so bad, that was just cringe factor was just like camera presence. It's mostly just camera presence. I don't know. It was just weird.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Hey,
glad you're improving.
Yeah, maybe you have a thread. Otherwise, I got a slug thread. But meh.
No, I got kind of one.
Oh no.
Well, here's the only thing. I guess I could have connected it earlier when I just let you go on the thread train, but thinking about why we were so upset at Sam and Sean for their podcast,
Triple down.
realized. No, I'm going soft here. Like the one thing they're really good at, which I'm traditionally quite bad at, is consistency. Like they never miss a podcast. It's always like, hey, it's going to come out on Tuesday and Thursday, and they always crush it. And like maybe you get a bonus episode on Friday or something like that. But like they don't miss. And I think that's what really creates the super fan. Like the reason why we're so upset is because we're just expecting this reward every Tuesday and Thursday. We're going to wake up, we're going to get it. And I remember I would tweak out and I would tweet at them. I'm like, hey, the video podcast isn't up at like 10 a.m. and I'm trying to eat my salad and watch something. And I'm like looking forward to it. And we haven't had that. At least I haven't had it consistently. But I think now if we actually nail this daily thing, then we can create that sort of expectation super fan.
Yeah. And yeah, I think you're right in that, because I had the same thing watching Casey Neistat's daily vlog in college. Like it became a part of my day. It was usually because I think he posted them at like 6 or 7 a.m.
Or David Dobrik too.
Or David Dobrik. Yeah. Like, so for Casey, I would wake up, I would watch my 15 minutes of Casey, and I'd just be like ready for my day. For David Dobrik, he would post like maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday afternoons, and we'd be in between classes, and his vlog would drop. Neither of us would watch it. We would wait until we were like both on the couch, and then we would sit down and watch it. And so I think when you've got super fandom and you are part of their habits, change is really tough. But what makes me so upset about this is like, what are they changing to? More guest podcasts? Okay, is that growing their podcast? Well, I go and look at their YouTube page. I'm like, no.
So 2 things. One is like, okay, if sort of my solution that I proposed to them was like, hey, for the super fans, like, don't make the podcast worse. That's just going to make everyone upset. So like keep your Tuesday, Thursday, your normal, like, hey, we're just going to talk and like riff. But like if you're trying something new, do that on another time. Like do that, use that as like your little Friday teaser episode. And that's where you experiment. Cause like, that's just bonus. Like we're not expecting Friday episodes or like Monday, or just drop those whenever. It doesn't matter. But like, don't just rattle what you've been doing for years and years with this new format that a lot of people don't like. And kind of the other point is, it kind of motivated me to be like, I don't know. I was in sort of a similar emotional mood this morning where I'm like, dude, I just want to smoke these fucking cons and like tell them, hey, this is the path. You guys aren't doing the right thing. Like you're conning around. Just like stick to what you're really good at. And like, if you want to improve the podcast, just like make shorts from the stories that you already talk about and then pump those to the podcast. But like, we don't do it. So I don't really like, we're just preaching, but I want to practice it. And obviously I haven't yet. But that'll be soon. And then I'll be stoked when this gets more views than their podcast. And then we can just be like, you going to listen now? Oh, sassy.
Gardeloo!
Fuck.